Hello everyone, this is Toby with Birdsong Studios. Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining me here on the channel. I greatly appreciate your time, attention, and openness to these messages. So this will be a reading for the sign of Cancer. For those of you with your sun, moon, rising sign, or north node in the sign of Cancer, you may find information in this reading that will be helpful for you. We are looking at energies and guidance around themes that will be coming up at the full moon in Scorpio lunar eclipse, which happens on May the 5th. This eclipse in the sign of Scorpio will be third in the series, which began on May the 15th and 16th of 2022. The second was on October the 25th of 2022. And again, this is kind of the culmination or the bringing together of the information received over that time frame that was really highlighted and revealed with those prior eclipses in the sign of Scorpio. So what is coming up for this full moon in Scorpio lunar eclipse for the sign of Cancer, please, Spirit? We're starting off with the Life Soul Vision Oracle. We're going to get an overall theme for you, Cancer, and then we will go to the tarot in the light and shadow spread and look at different aspects. What's in the light, what is in the shadow, and then how we can balance out those energies with the divine masculine, divine feminine energies, with yin and yang energies. So starting off here with your overall theme, we have honesty at the edge of quiet. And yeah, as I was meditating ahead of time on messages for you, Cancer, I was getting this sense of a portal, and kind of the gateway theme came through for Aries as well, I believe. But we have this sense of a portal opening up during this time. You know, Scorpio is the sign of death and rebirth. It is symbolized, or it's ruled by the planet Pluto, which is the god of the underworld. It's all about transformation, and the transformation that occurs with this death and rebirth cycle, this rising of the phoenix from the ashes. But again, it requires a destruction of something, and oftentimes this is around our beliefs and our thought forms, and our actions, our behaviors, things that are no longer serving us, and things that were associated with wounds or traumas from the past, or even in the meditation I was getting this tie to past lives. So even a healing of ancestral or generational wounds, of karmic contracts being closed out. But there's, with the honesty at the edge of quiet, it's going to require for you, okay, so this is card 28, which reduces down to the number 10, which is the closing of a cycle, right? And that's definitely what I'm getting for you, is this potential possibility to move through this portal, this window that's open for you. And it's a window that allows you to see with clarity some things that you have not seen before, that you have not I get this sense of you've gotten glances of it, you've been able to witness pieces of it, but Scorpio is asking us to really look deep, and to do so without fear, without apprehension, and to allow ourselves to surrender to the honesty that's available there. But it does require silence, it requires quiet, it requires stillness. And so where have you been avoiding these moments of quiet and stillness? Because your shadow is trying to keep things hidden. The ego does not want to go there necessarily. It doesn't want to see what is hidden there, out of fear or anxiety, that apprehension we talked about before. but there's so much light all around you, and it's almost as if you're stepping into the light by, this has come through in some of the other readings too, this sense of almost a reversal. It's not a reversal of the light and the shadow, but really this understanding that they are one and the same. They are two sides of the same coin. And so by looking into the shadow, you're actually allowing more light in. By sitting with the shadow, you're actually shining this light on it, so you're allowing more light into it. By avoiding it, you're diminishing your light. And so what is it that you need to get honest about in your life, Cancer, that's going to allow more light into your life, into you, that's going to allow you to shine fully? And there's that fullness that came of showing oneself that came through in the Taurus reading as well. Scorpio, I think for all signs, is going to be asking us to be very, very honest with ourselves. It's going to require that we be honest and really take a look at where we're focusing our energy. It's happening in Mercury Retrograde, and of course the last update that we did on the Mercury Retrograde energies was about energetic boundaries, and we're getting that reflected in this reading as well. So giving yourself time for quiet is going to be really important, Cancer. So let's look at what we have in the light for this full moon in Scorpio for the sign of Cancer. I'm getting a strong presence of your ancestors here. They are all around you, and although it's almost as if they are the light within this forest that's around you. You may, and again, when you focus, I'm just getting this interesting energy of when you look into the shadows, you'll actually be able to see with greater clarity. Eight of Wands. Yeah, these are these messages that want to come through to you. This is this information, this and I'm getting, okay, hang on just a second. We've got one more card for in the light, so let's look at this and get a full picture for Cancer, please, Spirit. See how quickly that came out too. It's as if when you look to the shadow, then that's when the light becomes brighter and your clarity becomes brighter, your receptivity becomes brighter. You're able to allow in these messages, and there's your new beginning with the Fool. It's going to require you to step outside yourself a bit. It's going to require you to stop. I get this great sense of just a pause is required, because it's almost as if you are outrunning these messages. Out of fear, out of I get that sense of apprehension again. Anxiety even. But this new beginning is available to you right now. You know it's there, and maybe that's what you're running away from. And look, we have the moon here in a waxing phase. So maybe as we move as we begin to move out of the next new moon, you'll actually be able to see this new beginning that's available to you. But the messages need to come in now. Now, around this Scorpio full moon is when it needs to happen. But you've got to stop running from this. And there's nothing to... I want to say there's nothing to fear here. Again, you're very highly protected, Cancer. Your ancestors are here and they're wanting to deliver these messages to you, but if you don't slow down long enough to receive them, there is a new beginning for you either way. But I don't think it's not going to be what you are attempting to manifest, because also with this Eight of Wands, I get that, and I heard someone else say it, and it's really stuck with me, and I can't recall who it was, so I apologize, but someone read this card, the Eight of Wands, as the rockets of desire that Abraham Hicks talks about in Law of Attraction and Manifestation. There's something that you've been manifesting or attempting to manifest, but because you're not willing to have this moment of quiet, and man, this came up a little bit with Gemini too, this giving yourself this moment of pause and quiet to actually receive in the messages. And this is going to allow you to streamline your energy and your thoughts, your emotions, so that you are truly manifesting that which you desire. Otherwise, the new beginning that's going to come through is not going to be necessarily what you think it's going to be, or what it will not be true. Well, let's see. It won't have the fullness of what you're trying to manifest, because you're not applying the fullness of who you are, because you're hiding something from yourself. There's something in your shadow that you have not been willing or ready to look at. But now is the time. You are ready. So there's no judgment, but it is going to require some courage, some bravery, and trust. This big sense of trust. The Fool has huge amount of trust, right? He's stepping off the ledge. He's leaping. But he knows he's held. The King of Pentacles. Man, the King of Pentacles has come out twice now already in other readings. And yeah, the King, what's hiding in the shadow is this sense of stability. But what I think, all right, let me get the second card, but it just feels so much like it's there for you, but it's almost that I don't even feel like it's going to require that much. It's almost just like you just need to be still, and you need to be accepting of the shadow space, and just in doing that, it opens up a doorway that allows you to receive these messages. A Page of Wands. Yeah, look at that. And there's, again, this childlike energy, this youthful energy, this spark of an idea. I think you know what this information is. Somewhere deep in you, you know what this is. And this is where the apprehension is. And so it does have this sense of discomfort. There's also, with the King of Pentacles, this sense of somewhere in the shadow space, there's a belief that the energy of the Fool is counterproductive to the King of Pentacles, that one must sit upon one's throne at all times and make these decisive decisions, I'm hearing. But again, I'm getting, and just as with the Taurus reading, I'm getting this sense of stoicism, this sense of inner conflict between this youthful energy and wanting to move with this new idea with a sense of play and lightness and curiosity and being uninhibited. And yet here's the King of Pentacles. He's kind of tapping his I can't even, the word is lost on me, but holding this staff, kind of tapping this staff as if he's reminding the page to stay in line. And this is all within you. This is not external to you, Cancer. Letting yourself be light. Giving the king within you the freedom and the okay, the approval to just approach this information. And maybe that's what's needed. This youthful perspective, this sense of lightness and a bit of verve and a bit of unencumbered, uninhibitedness. And that perspective shift is going to allow you to view this information that's coming through in a new way, so that you're able to see how this applies to this new beginning, of where it's taking you, and it'll remove that sense of anxiety and apprehension that has been present up till now. But it's going to require you to allow light into the shadow. That means you have to go there, you have to look there, you have to focus your attention on it. Okay, so what do we have for the Divine Feminine? The Hanged Man. There again, we have this sense of shifting perspective and a pause that's required. This letting go. What else do we have for the Yin, Divine Feminine energy? This sense of release. Scorpio, again, Scorpio is about this creation of space that allows for the new then to rise. And that's what we're doing here, Cancer. There is a belief in you that keeps you in this state of things must be a certain way, very structured. I'm getting this is a different energy for this King of Pentacles. He's very structured. He's very, he holds his responsibility with a bit of martyrdom. And again, no judgment, but Cancer, allow yourself a sense of lightness and freedom. And this is what's going to allow you to see this information in a new way, to flip your perspective around. And you're held by spirit in that process. Okay, what else do we have for the Divine Feminine Yin energy for Cancer, please, Spirit? Divine Feminine for Cancer, please, Spirit. I hope I wasn't bumping the camera. If it was rattling, I apologize. There we go. Justice. This is your balancing of the scales. This is where balance comes from. And again, the figure in the image of the Justice card is blindfolded. It's this pause. It's seeing things from a different place. It's actually going inside and seeing it through your intuition, through your connection to spirit, through your connection with your higher self. But it's this balancing. It is the balancing happens by being in this receiving energy. We even have the yin and the yang here in the sun on this card. I love that card. It's beautiful. It's card 11. Huh. And it almost looks like, no, that's the sun. That's the sun in a solar eclipse. Is the way it feels. So, I have to look back at the eclipses from last year to see if one of the ones in Scorpio was a solar eclipse. And then in the yang or masculine energy, we have this Page of Swords. All right, let's get the second card and then we'll look at this. The Page of Swords is like research. It's learning something new. It's he looks kind of, I'm not really liking the expression on this page's face though, so give me just a second. Let me go in this deeper. Oh, okay, hang on just a sec. I'm getting this sense that you're almost using this divine masculine energy as a bit of a barricade. It's like this page is saying, well, I've learned from experiences in the past, because I get this really kind of snarky energy from this page. He has this very defensive stance, and it's almost as if he's saying, in this reading, I've been down this path before and it has not gone well for me. I've tried that before and it doesn't work. But what he doesn't recognize is that he's a page. He just barely dipped his toes into that experience of letting go, of flipping his perspective, of allowing the scales to balance. He just barely started the process. So it's almost like, you know, when you, with a pendulum, like when you first allow the pendulum to swing, it's arcs wildly, not wildly, but, you know, widely from one side to the other. So if we only let it swing and then we watch it as it swings widely from one to the other and then we walk away, we don't understand the full extent of how the pendulum works. We haven't seen how it then does come back into balance. We haven't noticed how the arcs are equidistant on either side from the center. That's part of the balancing process. And so if the page has swung over into this perspective shift only momentarily, he didn't stay there long enough to actually gather the information. But it was just long enough for him to decide, I don't want to do that again. All I noticed was that it was uncomfortable and it was very unbalanced, and I'm getting this almost conversation from the page where he's saying, but it's accusatory. So this is in the divine masculine energy. So this is what needs to be balanced out. This is one of the beliefs that needs to have quiet. We need to give that more time. And so from this state, this is why he's in the divine masculine yang energy state or place here in the spread. It's because he's gone from, no, it didn't work when I tried that before, so now I'm just going to go to take action. That's where the answer lies. That's where the balancing comes from. But that's not the truth. Again, he's just a page. He's not a king. He hasn't gone through all the phases, all the steps, all the stages in order to understand how this process really works. He's only seen a glimpse of it. You can't make a decision from that point. This is an interesting reading, Cancer. Okay, so what else do we have in the divine masculine? Oh, wow, we have the Eight of Pentacles reversed. Yes, see, look. That's, okay, the Eight of Pentacles is being diligent with something and gaining mastery. And this is just what we were talking about with the Page of Swords. Right? He does not have mastery. So the divine masculine aspect, Cancer, feels very much out of balance. And it's going to be important. And I think this is exactly this truth that, again, and that speaks back to what we talked about with the stoicism and the structuredness and the being very, I can't think of the word. Almost being very scheduled, regimented. That's the word, being very regimented. That's what's in the shadow, and that's what came through with this King of Pentacles. Look at this. Look at this page. You see how he's look at his expression. He's very, and He is adamantly opposed to allowing himself, allowing that energy to be balanced with the divine feminine. This is what is going to be revealed for you at this time, Cancer. And I'm hoping that now that you have this awareness, that you'll take this quiet time needed to delve into your shadow, to allow light into the shadow, to allow yourself to see how you did not give time to see the fullness and see the connection, see how all the chains are and the wheels here are intertwined. There's the Hanging Man is not just a flip of perspective, it is a pause. It is a divine pause. And this allows that pendulum to center itself, to reach center, to reach neutral again, this rebalancing to happen, but it's not an immediate thing. You have to give yourself time, and it will be uncomfortable initially until your body readjusts, until your energy readjusts. But it's in that space that you can actually step forward from a balanced place into this new beginning or this new idea, this new you even. Because you've given space for this information to come through. And this is that running away from it that I mentioned before. This is what we see here in this divine masculine energy. So the divine masculine energy really within you really needs the balancing, because it needs to be, it's almost like you have to, this divine masculine energy is asking that we prove that it's out of balance. But it hasn't taken the time to gain mastery, to understand what balance actually even feels like. Okay, I'm going to leave it there, Cancer. I hope this was helpful. Please give yourself time, space, quiet in order to hear the messages that are striving to reach you. Please stop outrunning it or attempting to outrun it. The divine, the universe is going to bring those messages to you, and so it's best if we take the time to allow them to come to us rather than being forced to stop in our tracks to hear it. So with that being said, thank you so much for your time, your attention, your presence, your openness to these messages. I greatly appreciate it. Please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you would like a personal reading, my information is in the description box below. And until next time, Cancer, take care. Thank you.